Next on Stampede TV, major changes are coming to Milligan's commencement ceremonies. We'll have the complete details along with student reactions.
Plus, we'll take you to the sights and sounds of Milligan's Halloween tradition.
And we'll take a closer look at mass shootings on college campuses. We'll provide you with important information that can help save your life.
And later, we'll highlight a professor's interesting choice for a family car.
These stories and more are coming up next.
Stampede TV begins now. Major changes to Milligan's commencement have been announced. Welcome to Stampede TV. I'm Jackie Snyder.
And I'm Daniel Peacock. I talked to President Greer and several students to get the details.
Milligan's administration has some big changes in store for the commencement ceremony at this year's graduation. In response to some concerns about overcrowding in Seeger Chapel during the last year's ceremonies, Milligan has decided to separate the ceremony into two events.
And this would allow us to take the Friday service and combine it with the traditional students, the traditional undergraduate students, and that way they would all graduate. They would all graduate together that way. We're planning to divide the class up based on which school their major is part of.
However, this has been met with some opposition from students.
A lot of them were upset because they want to graduate with their friends, which I totally understand. So there was quite a bit of negative drawback.
On October 20th, President Greer met with students to address their concerns about the upcoming changes. There, members of the senior class stepped forward to voice their concerns about having a separate ceremony from some of their peers.
Because for our whole 4 years, we, at matriculation, we expected to, walk across, and I know it's not what we expected and change is hard, but, we, had this idea we would all matriculate together and we would all graduate together.
Bill Greer also mentioned the possibility of having a luncheon take place after the first service so that students could eat together with their families and friends. President Greer said that he is taking the students' input into account, but states that the changes will still be taking place for this year's graduation.
Even though there were disagreements in the room, there were people against the change, there were people for the change. I was trying to explain why we needed to change and some of the reasons that we've developed the plan we have. And I think in the end, everybody realized that we all want the same thing. We all want to have a special day for our seniors. And if we work together to get there, it will be.
This has been Daniel Peacock reporting for Stampede TV.
Yeah, these are some major changes.
Yeah, this means a lot to plenty of people.
It was only a month ago when Stampede TV told you about the grand opening of an expansion of the Tweesie Trail into downtown Elizabethton.
And now plans are already being made to expand the trail even further. Stampede TV's Alyssa Boyer has more.
As many of you know, the Tweesie Trail was completed during the summer of 2014 and opened August 30th to the public. The trail links Johnson City and Elizabethton using a 7-mile stretch of the abandoned ET and WNC rail line. It provides opportunities for walking, hiking, running, biking, and more, all on a relatively flat grade in a beautiful setting. Many Milligan students are already enjoying the great views of Elizabethton from the Tweesie Trail while they are getting their exercise.
I'm from Johnson City, so it was really exciting when we heard about them revitalizing the train track that kind of started Elizabethton and Johnson City. A lot of people like to run around here. I like to run as well, and it's one of the few places that we have that's kind of flat around East Tennessee.
I've ran the Tweesie Trail probably once or twice this year, and then a bunch of times last year when it first opened, and I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. It's perfect, right in the morning when when it's still kind of cold out and you're going out for a run. It's perfect then, and it's gorgeous to watch the sunrise on it.
While the trail is open to everyone, plans to expand the trail are already being put into action. The next expansion of the Tweesie Trail will begin where it left off, near the Betsytown Shopping Center, and will continue to Roan Mountain, a popular spot among many students. When completed, the 10-mile trail will be the longest rail-to-trails project in Tennessee.
Milligan students should definitely check it out.
I think every Milligan student should go out there and at least walk it or run it. It's so pretty.
This has been Alyssa Boyer reporting for Stampede TV.
Yeah, I've been on the Tweesie Trail a few times. It's pretty cool.
I've never been on it, but I can't wait for this new expansion though.
Some Milligan students are planning a cool new addition to campus to arrive before Christmas. The project involves a new hammock area. We talked with Josh Foote for more about this groundbreaking addition.
I'm setting up 5 posts up behind Kegley and Quillen in like the little tree area, and it's going to allow for hopefully 14 hammocks to be set up in one central area, and it's going to be super easy. I'm going to have like metal pins that the people that go, they can just clip their hammocks in real easy, and it's going to be nice and close, so you don't have to go to the creek if you want a hammock. So that's kind of, I felt like there wasn't a really good spot for multiple people to hammock in one area.
The project is funded by the Student Government Association and Res Life. The SGA vote was recently expedited. It was unanimously approved to add the hammock area to campus.
We kind of hit a speed bump a while back, but we actually finally got the poles today, actually. So we're going to fix those up and then hopefully have them in the ground, hopefully within the next 2 weeks.
Link's annual Trunk or Treat is always a fun activity for both Milligan students and children in our area.
Stampede TV's Harper Severance has the details on this year's event.
Due to the rain, this year's Trunk or Treat was held under the homecoming tent on Dorothy Commons. Trick-or-treaters were lining up outside about a half hour before the event started. Without the hard work from the members of Link, this night would not have been possible.
LINK is an acronym that stands for linking individuals to the needs of the community. So our main objective in LINK is to both organize community service events and then connect students to those events so that they can help with things and the needs in the community.
Both Milligan students and kids enjoyed getting into costume.
All just really interactive and really into it, and it was really exciting, so that's awesome.
This year, students dressed as minions, scuba divers, the characters of Wizard of Oz and Up, and many more.
I thought that the slumber party one was funny because they just slept the entire time.
Live music was made possible by those at Key Event Productions. The tent was filled with dancing Milligan students, and some children got involved too. Awards were given out at the closing of the night, the best being Harry Potter. The Milligan community is thankful for the chance to interact with about 700 elementary students right on campus. Although there were no trunks used in this year's Trunk or Treat, everyone had a great time. This has been Harper Severance reporting for Stampede TV.
I just went to go get some candy and funnel cake.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I went as a Greek philosopher. Next on Stampede TV, we'll take a closer look at campus security. And we'll have potentially life-saving tips on how you should react to a campus shooting.
And later, we'll talk to a Milligan professor who was recently inducted as a fellow into an international society. Stay tuned.
Stampede TV is covering the stories that matter to you, covering great new things.
The labs in the science building were renovated.
Covering your accomplishments.
Winning the first national championship in Milligan history.
Covering tragedies.
A longboarder collided with a vehicle.
Covering fun.
But with a carnival theme, you all these bright colors to work with.
Covering the stories that matter.
And that just really impacted me that fifth grade with one of our shoes.
The stories that connect us together.
We're Stampede TV, Milligan's student-operated news source.
We're hearing more about mass shootings on college campuses more and more often.
Stampede TV's Caleb Purdy looked into our preparedness for an incident here at Milligan College. He joins us now with more.
Daniel and Jackie, when I began working on this report, I talked to several students and professors to find out if they knew what to do in the event of a shooting here at Milligan. No one I spoke to knew the answer, and all of them said there had never been any discussion or training on the issue. I went to Brent Nipper, Milligan's Director of Property and Risk Management, to find out what college administration is doing to help keep us safe and how we should respond in an active shooting situation. He told me that communication is key in an emergency.
Having that emergency alert system is critical because that's where we would provide instructions in the event of an emergency.
Nipper tells me emergency alert communication would come through various methods, including a loudspeaker inside the steeple of Seeger. that has been tested to be as audible as far as the campus of Emmanuel Christian Seminary. Information would also be distributed on social media and other media outlets, and most importantly, through Milligan's RAVE system. NIPR encourages all students to sign up for RAVE in order to receive information through email and text messages.
Every avenue that we have, we would try to get the word out.
But what should you do if caught in an active shooter situation before the alert is sent out? Here, NIPR suggests the Department of Homeland Security's Run, Hide, Fight plan. First, if possible, get out of the situation. NIPR says to be aware of all exits in the building and the quickest evacuation route. If you cannot escape, hide. In a classroom like in Durthick, a professor will need to lock the door. Make sure you turn out the lights and hide in a place where you will not be visible. NIPR says that if you cannot lock the door, barricade it with heavy furniture. If you are confronted with a life-threatening situation, use force as a last resort. Once you are safe, call 911 and campus security. Remember, if you use a landline phone on campus, you must first dial 9 to access an outside line. NIPR tells me that Milligan relies on the Elizabethton Police Department to protect the Milligan campus.
We are divided up into 3 zones. We have one officer that is assigned what would be considered Zone 3, which would be the location where Milligan College is located. Approximate time for that officer would be less than a minute. The second officer would be approximately about the same time. We have a 7-mile radius that we cover in Elizabethton, and during school hours at Milligan, you could have 22 city officers in that vicinity within 10 minutes.
Greg Workman, Elizabethton Chief of Police, says that his department has everything they would need to respond to an active shooter situation and can call on neighboring departments for anything they cannot handle. Elizabethton Police also has a team devoted specifically to active shooter situations. They have training once each month and host drills at local schools at least once per year. I also asked Workman what he thought about Milligan's plan.
You never know how good a plan is until you put it into action. It's good to, like I said, have a scenario. Whether it's once a year, once it's every 2 years, whatever they're comfortable with, to see how that plan works.
NIPR told me there's not been any training with students and faculty about what to do in an active shooter situation, but there may be in the future. Following my interview, NIPR sent out an email to the Milligan campus about what to do in a shooting situation. I also asked about how Milligan's weapons policy plays into preventing a shooting. He told me that the weapons policy relies on people reporting suspicious activity to campus security. Although campus security is a major part of the mass shooting problem, the emotional health of those who commit these acts has also been brought up as an issue. In a New York Times article that followed the shootings last month in Oregon, a criminologist who studies active shootings, James Allen Fox, said that shooters are not necessarily mentally ill. Quote, "They're depressed. They're not out of touch with reality. They don't hear voices. They don't think the people they're shooting are gophers. They do not fit in. Their most comfortable companion is themselves. They tend to be people in social isolation with a lack of support systems to help them through hard times and give them a reality check. They have a history of frustration. They see themselves as good guys mistreated by others." I talked with Rebecca Sapp, director of Milligan's Counseling Center, about this article.
We're dependent on people walking in our door, and that person usually doesn't walk through the door that's being described there. So really the bigger way that we as a campus can handle that is by others recognizing that that person is socially isolated. Just to reach out and to ask somebody, "Hi, how are you? How are you doing? You know, I noticed you're sitting by yourself. Would you like to join us for lunch?" I mean, they're very simple social etiquettes that could make a difference.
The Counseling Center on campus is available for a wide variety of needs and not just depression. Services are free to students and faculty. They are open Monday and Wednesday 9 until 2 and Thursday 9 until 5. SAP plans on having longer hours next semester. Make sure you call ahead at 423-461-8500. This is Caleb Burney reporting for Stampede TV.
Just as a recap, remember to sign up for Rave Alerts at GetRave.com. and report anything suspicious to campus security at 423-461-8734.
Thanks, Killer, for that informative report.
Prospective students traveled to Milligan from near and far October 30th for Be a Buff Day, which started with a continental breakfast and overview of Milligan.
I'm from Texas, and it took about 21 hours.
I'm from Elizabethton, Tennessee. Well, that's where I live right now, but I'm from originally Harare, Zimbabwe.
Buff Day started off as open house, and then when we decided to rebrand it, give it a new name. So basically it's an overview day for students and their families. They can come to visit campus, they take tours, and just basically find out if Milligan is a place that they're interested in looking into as for college.
I'm expecting to get to know the campus a little bit more and the classes too, and getting to see the beautiful East Tennessee campus.
Well, I hope to get in a lot of information about the school and hope this is the right fit for me. Hope to meet some professors, just explore the campus and see if this is the right school, and hope to enjoy it.
The day continued with a campus tour and meetings for both the parents and students, and ended with an academic fair where the students met some of the professors.
The Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame has announced names of the inductees for the 50th anniversary induction banquet. The banquet is set for Saturday, June 18, 2016 at the Omni Nashville. Among the inductees is Durd Walker as the Lifetime Achievement inductee. He was the only Milligan athlete to have earned 12 varsity letters in 5 intercollegiate sports. He was selected as Outstanding Scholar Athlete in 1947 to 48. In 1951, he returned to Milligan to coach baseball, basketball, cross country, track and field, tennis, and to serve as an athletic director. The Sports Hall of Fame has a goal to memorialize successful teams and individuals who display sportsmanship, good character, and success, creating a legacy for others to follow. Mr. Walker has done just that by making Tennessee proud.
Local sports radio broadcaster Tom Taylor visited Milligan Tuesday to broadcast his show live from Sub 7. Taylor is the 3-time Associated Press Tennessee Sportscaster of the Year. While here, Taylor interviewed players from some of the sports teams that are currently in season. He also took the time to sit down with the coaches and talk to them.
I love the people, love the school, I love the Christian environment, I love what Milligan stands for, so given the opportunity to come over and promote great positive student athletes who are doing things with a Christian spin, doing a Christian aspect, I thought this is something I want to do.
Throughout his show on Tuesday, Taylor emphasized his support of the Milligan community, despite having no real ties here. After the break on Stampede TV, we'll talk to a Milligan professor who was recently inducted into a society focused on academic regalia.
And later, we'll show you the story behind the car that one professor drives every day. There's more to come. Stay tuned.
Can't find something to listen to on the radio? Well, check out 90.5 WUMC Milligan College Radio. With student-produced shows airing each night, there is something for everyone. The best mix of music along with talk shows about everything Milligan. For a complete list of show times or to listen live, visit us online at milliganradio.com. We're your radio station, 90.5 WUMC.
Welcome back to StampedeTV. On today's segment of Have You Heard, we're here with Associate Professor of Film Studies, Kenny Sood, and we're here to talk about his interesting research project that he's been working on. Welcome, Professor Sood.
Thank you.
All right, so we know that you've been working on this research project. Could you tell me a little bit more about it?
It's a research project into the history of academic costume, which is the study of the academic gowns and hoods and caps that professors wear to graduation ceremonies and to other important events.
All right, and it's called the Bergen Society. Where is that out of?
The Bergen Society is an organization in the UK that it's a group of scholars whose focus of study is the history of academic costume all over the world.
So what made you interested?
As a filmmaker, I've always been interested in fashion and in costume, and I really enjoy costume films, historical films set in the past, because I enjoy looking at the costumes in those movies, and I like trying to figure out whether the costumes are historically accurate. And so that interest sort of dovetailed with the fact that I have to wear ancient, archaic clothes at least 5 times a year for these ceremonies at Milligan. I was wearing these archaic robes and hoods and stuff, and I just kind of got interested in finding out why.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we wear these clothes? What do they mean?
So what was the most interesting part of your research that you found?
Well, one of the interesting things was just learning about the the color coding that's used in the garments. On your hood, around the collar, the professor will wear a particular color of velvet that indicates the degree subject that they received. So, for instance, philosophy they will wear dark blue if you have a Doctor of Philosophy degree. If you have a science degree, a Master of Science or a Bachelor of Science, you wear golden yellow. If you have a Master of Arts, arts is assigned white. So there's this color code that you have to learn in order to kind of read the hood properly. And that was interesting to me, is to find out all of the different colors that have been assigned and when they were assigned. Most of them were assigned before World War II. And actually a majority of them were assigned before the 1920s. But it was also interesting to find out the symbolism behind some of the color choices. Some of the colors have certain symbols attached to them. Inside the hood are the colors of the institution that granted the degree. So for Milligan, it would be black and orange. For ETSU, it would be blue and gold. My alma mater is Baylor University. It would be gold and green. And it was interesting to learn that back in the late 1800s, a group of academics got together and they assigned certain patterns of colors for each university or college. And these patterns were arranged in a particular way that used heraldry, like chevrons or bars or crosses or whatever. And so the arrangement of the color using heraldry was meant to be unique for each school. So that it was sort of like it was a semiotic system. It was a visual system. You could look at a professor's hood, you could see what subject they studied, and if they turned around, you could see what institution they went to based on the colors and the heraldic pattern. So those were some of the fascinating things that I found out. Fascinating for me, at least. One of the unusual things I found out, quite by accident, was that Milligan has been using the wrong hood for I don't know how long, but back in the teens or 20s, Milligan was assigned its own hood pattern, which was a black lining with an orange chevron. Recently, though, and I'm not sure how many years this has been going on, we've been using a hood with an orange lining and a black chevron. So the colors got reversed somehow. Now, the problem with that is that the hood that Milligan is using right now is actually the hood that was assigned to Princeton University. And that's a no-no. We shouldn't be using Princeton's hood. We should be using Milligan's hood, which is black with an orange chevron. What complicates matters, though, is that Tusculum is now using our hood. Tusculum is using black with an orange chevron. They're supposed to be using a hood that's black over orange, divided by a chevron line. So there's subtle differences here. We all use orange and black. Princeton, Tusculum, Milligan, we all use orange and black. But each school is supposed to have its own lining. And it's gotten messed up. And so I talked to the registrar's office and wrote a proposal that Milligan go back to our assigned hood pattern. And that's important because now that we've merged with Emmanuel, we're going to be having some men and women who are graduating with a Doctor of Ministry degree. And so they're going to have a doctoral hood. They may go off to another school to teach, and they'll be wearing Milligan's hood, and we need to make sure that the hood they're wearing won't be confused with the Princeton hood. We need to make sure that the hood that Milligan grad is wearing at the other school is identifiable as a hood from Milligan. And so I proposed to the administration that we either go back to our original assignment or we design a new heraldic pattern that's unique, maybe by adding orange orange and white stripes or something like that that would make us unique.
We'll definitely have to keep our eye out at graduation to see if it changes any.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with Stampede TV.
There is still time to check out the faculty art exhibit entitled Nature, Robots, and Elvis. The exhibit features artwork from several Milligan faculty members. It is located in the art gallery in the lower level of Durthik. The exhibit remains open through November 20th.
Link, Milligan's service organization, is looking for volunteers for its upcoming Miss Princess pageant. The pageant is held for special needs women. Volunteers would act as an escort for the contestants during the event and rehearsal. The pageant is scheduled for November 21st. For more information or to sign up, email link at linc@milligan.edu.
The Milligan Orchestra is presenting their fall concert entitled Viva Italia tomorrow night at 7:30. The concert will feature an Italian theme with a wide variety of pieces. The concert is free and takes place in Seeger Chapel.
The Johnson City Symphony Orchestra will be holding a concert in Seeger next Saturday, November 14th. The concert will feature Tessa Lark, a violin player who plays both bluegrass and with orchestras. The concert begins at 7:30. Tickets are now available for $10 by visiting jcsymphony.com.
And if you haven't already, make sure you register for classes for spring semester. Sophomores with last names A through F register Monday at 8 a.m. Freshmen A through F register Tuesday at 8 a.m. Freshmen G through O register Tuesday at 2 p.m. And freshmen P through Z register Wednesday at 8 a.m. Coming up next on Stampede TV, we'll have the latest information in sports.
And later, the story behind a professor and his van. More Stampede TV after this.
Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org.
Welcome back to Stampede Sports. The women's soccer team recently did something special for an AAC rival team. During the devastating floods in South Carolina, Columbia College was unable to travel to Milligan for their game. After head coach Lisa Buckley learned about water rations, the girls sent packages of water to the opposing team.
We sent the water to Columbia because they were just impacted by a hurricane and their water was contaminated, and they were limited to 3 bottles of water a day, and that's just not enough for athletics or athletes to function on throughout the course of a week.
Not only was Coach Buckley proud of the idea, but the team rallied behind the efforts to help out a team in need.
I was really happy that we were able to help out Columbia with their water situation, because I know that if that were us, that we would really appreciate the help, and I know that they were super thankful because they were in need, and we love being able to help others in need because we are a Christian community and we love serving others.
The volleyball team is reaching the end of their season.
Stampede TV's Jacob Smith talked to the team to find out how they feel about this season.
Milligan sports teams looking to finish out strong as the fall sports season comes to an end. With conference tournaments coming up, every win is crucial for the teams. The Milligan volleyball team believes that they're on the right track.
I feel like we're peaking at the right time. We started our conference on the road. We had a whole month stretch of games on the road.
After starting the season at 4-5, the team has come on strong in October, winning 6 of their last 7 games. Head coach John-Eva Bays attributes this to strong play on their home court.
Getting back home, we were able to get some nice long winnings, trails here at home.
The Lady Buffs have gotten strong play from a variety of different players. Senior setter Jessica Davenport has been named Setter of the Week 4 times this season and just surpassed 1,000 assists. Another big player for the Buffaloes this season is senior middle blocker Emily Linkus. Linkus set her career high with 17 kills against Truett McConnell on October 24th and followed that up with 16 kills just 3 days later against Bryan.
Finally getting it and finally getting to my fullest potential is like the best feeling ever. I feel like I've accomplished so much at Milligan, and it feels great to be able to produce for my team.
The team will look to continue their hot streak in the last 4 games of the regular season, 3 of which will be away games. Both Emily Linkus and Coach Bays are clear on what the goal is for this last part of the season.
#1 seed.
If we just take care of ourselves and win out, then we can come in as the 1 seed, and that's where we want to be.
This has been J.F. Smith reporting for Stampede TV.
They've done an excellent job this year.
Yeah, they've really made us proud.
After the break, we'll take a look at the inside story on a Milligan professor.
But first, here are this week's games.
We're Stampede TV, Milligan's student-operated news source.
You may have seen a certain professor driving around in an orange Volkswagen bus.
Mitchell Clark has more on Bob Mahan's ride.
Here we go. Purrs like a kitten. A very angry kitten.
Dr. Bob Mahan, a joyful Milligan College accounting professor, is the proud owner of a vehicle that you don't see every day.
It's a Volkswagen bus, sometimes called just a standard model.
In 2010, Dr. Mahan, his wife, and 2 of his daughters embarked on an adventure to California to pick up the bus. Quickly, Dr. Mahan and his family developed a strong love for the new vehicle.
We kind of jokingly argue with each other as to who gets to drive it. So yes, this is actually our car of choice.
The bus is definitely full of character, from the hula girl and T-Rex in the windshield to the creative name the Mahans have given the bus.
So we decided to give it the name Van Cisco, since we flew out to San Francisco to get it.
The Mahans have also decorated the bus with a large variety of stickers that they have collected over the years.
About half of these stickers have some sort of sentiment attached to them.
Although the van is 42 years old, Dr. Mahan has come up with solutions to help him enjoy his VW bus year-round.
I refer to the air conditioning as 260 air conditioning, meaning 2 windows down and you go 60 miles an hour is about all we've got.
The unique details and significance of the bus itself draw a lot of attention.
People that, when my wife and I drive around town, that will give us peace signs. They will ask us if we are hippies, and I say, look at me.
Keep an eye out for Dr. Mahan and Van Cisco on the Milligan College campus. This has been Mitchell Clark reporting for Stampede TV.
I've always wondered whose car that is.
Well, now you know. And this is all the time we have for this edition of Stampede TV.
For latest news information, visit our website at milliganstampede.com.
You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and be sure to use the hashtag HeardThat.
And be sure to pick up the latest print edition of the Stampede in newsstands around campus.
Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jackie Snyder.
And I'm Daniel Peacock. Have a great rest of your day, and be sure to tune in for our final show of the semester on Friday, November 20th.